Jeepers Creepers 2 is about a school bus full of students and teachers, and the creeper is trying to pick them off one by one. And also, there is another character wanting some revenge against that creeper. Hey everybody, hope you're having a good day or a good night. So, I am on to the sequel here, Jeepers Creepers 2. Now, unlike the first one, I did get a chance to see this one at the theaters. Had a very fun time with it, loved everything about it. I thought it was so much better than the first one. But do I still feel about that right now? Well, stay tuned for my review and my rating at the end. Let's start with the likes. And the first thing I want to talk about is a character named Jack Taggart, played by Ray Wise, who is such a phenomenal actor. That at the very beginning of the movie, he's a farmer, he has his two sons with him, and the youngest one gets taken away by the creeper, where the creeper pretends that he's a scarecrow, and I thought that was very unique, the way that this first maybe 5 minutes of the movie actually goes. So Ray Wise is one of these, he's a father, just lost his younger son, and he wants revenge, and he convinces you right off the bat, right after his reaction of his son flying away in the air because of the creeper. And so every time he's on screen, you're always having a good time. You're always going to respect this character. And he's definitely one of these people you're like, even though he's the good guy, you would never want to cross him as the bad guy. And I do like him for who he is there. Going with the opposite with the creeper, played once again by Jonathan Breck. And Jonathan Breck, once again, does a damn good job. I mean, the thing I like about him in the sequel compared to the first one, where he was in shadows for probably the first half, maybe almost the first hour of the movie before they really show the good makeup on him. He's able to perform a lot better in this sequel because we know what he looks like, and I really do enjoy that there. And the makeup's phenomenal. It's really good. Love everything about that makeup, as good as the first one. Next two that I want to talk about are really good shots and really good scenes. So the first one is a really good shot going into Act 3, where we have Ray Wise's character Jack eye to eye with the creeper. I mean, they're so far apart and all that here, but some of the shots that I have to give Victor Salva in this movie is phenomenal. I mean, maybe not everything, but there's a lot of decent amount of great shots in here by the director. And once again, he also wrote the script. So the thing was, the whole eye to eye thing, it was almost like you were watching like the Old West, like watching an old John Wayne or an old Clint Eastwood movie. The final like I'm gonna have is where you got the creeper flying, and he's going after three of these students in a truck, and I thought that was very phenomenal. Well, let's move on to the dislikes here. Well, let's start off with the easy stuff. This movie, in my opinion, is not scary one bit. It seems like it's more that they try to lean towards more of the comedy part of it, or very heavily on some parts, and then whenever it's supposed to be scary, I'm more shrugging my shoulders or rolling my eyes thinking, okay, I don't know why the first Jeepers Creepers that came out 2 years before this sequel was still scary now, but then you get to this one and it was just like, nah, not scary one bit. And then the other thing is, and I don't think I mentioned this in the first one, but whenever the creeper is flying around the sky, you can tell that that's all green screen. You can tell it doesn't look like it's real at all. So that was pretty bad. Where the first one, it had that, but it felt like it was so blended in very well. I don't know why 2 years later in 2003, why they ended up not blending it as good. I don't know if it was just the money they didn't have and they started to shoot what they did. Who knows? Now, I mentioned this with the likes when I said that Victor Salva directed this movie almost as well as he directed the first Jeepers Creepers. But when it comes to the writing on this, and the main plot of this story is actually about 25 students in a school bus. They're broken down on a highway, and they're trying to protect themselves against the creeper, lock themselves in this bus, and hopefully the creeper's not going to come in. Well, as much as that sounds so good on paper, the execution of this entire story was horrible. I thought it was a ridiculous idea. That's probably another reason why it didn't, to me, even felt like these kids stranded on this bus. It never felt like it was scary one bit for me, even though that these kids were in danger. At least some of these kids were, if not all of them. That was interesting, but yeah, it just didn't really feel like it really worked out. Now, going with the kids on here, and without saying which one, there is a character who has psychic powers, and about 2 or 3 times throughout this entire movie, kind of pieces together who the creeper is or what exactly this creature is. Never explain it, why this person had psychic powers. Now, as I mentioned, was that these characters are not that interesting, but there is one I do want to talk about, and there's a character in here named Scotty, and right off the bat, when they first show him on the school bus, I just knew that he was not going to be a nice person, and boy, does he turn out to be the biggest asshole out of everybody. I get the whole thing that he is scared as shit with this monster, but everybody is, and you think that even with someone's attitude that they would try to redeem themselves and realize, wait a minute, we should all work together kind of thing, as much as that's always what it should be. No, he's pretty much an asshole or a whimpering baby. And the final thing that I want to talk about is the way that this ends. In my opinion, we actually get two different endings, and I feel like that they should have stopped with that first ending, and when they got to that second one that was about maybe an extra 2-3 minutes, they probably could have just got rid of that there, and I would have been perfectly fine. Maybe the movie would have even been slightly better. So Jeepers Creepers 2, I am going to go 2 out of 4 stars. There's a lot of good things to look at this movie, but a lot of bad things at the same time. But for you, if you've seen Jeepers Creepers 2, what is your opinion about this movie? Give me a comment down below, and we will discuss it. Talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.